Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about the Adventure Zone Bureau of Balance. This is by Twogether Studios, and it is designed by Keith Baker and Jen Ellis.
All right, you guys, this is a storytelling game very much in the vein of like an RPG, right? You have a bard, you have a wizard, you have a warrior, all those different kinds of things going on. You're going on this adventure where you have to take on a villain to acquire an item at a location. And it's going to be different each time you play. Let me show you how to play. All right, in the Adventure Zone Bureau of Balance, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to create a character. So there's all these different character sheets. There's a whole big pad of each one. You fill the whole thing out. If you want to draw a picture, you can. You answer some questions about yourself. You name yourself. You basically just do all the things that you would do in like an RPG to kind of build your character. So like here's one that my daughter made. She drew a picture of herself, and you can see it's pretty funny. So that's after you make your character, now we're ready to start the game. You're going to want to select one of the players to become the team leader. Now, the team leader in the book, it says they are not like a DM, a dungeon master, or anything like that. But in reality, they kind of are. Basically, they're the ones that are going to be kind of propelling the story forward, kind of coaxing people into giving questions or answers, telling the story, and getting other people to answer questions, and kind of move things forward that way. The next thing you need to do is you need to choose a villain, a relic, and a location. There's a whole bunch of all of them, and on the back of each one it tells you kind of what it's about, as well as some special rules, maybe how to set up the tomb, or this is the tomb itself, but how to set up that particular thing, whether it's the villain, the relic, or the location, and then you set it up that way. You also have these surprise cards over here. What's going to happen is, in each one of those three decks, you're going to, whatever the fourth card is, you're going to slip this in between the third and fourth card, one of those surprise cards. And then when you finally reveal it, you put it over here in the active surprise spot, and it's basically going to be some kind of ability, some kind of help along the way. And that just adds more things that you can integrate into your storytelling abilities as well. Whatever the active story is, or the active surprise, you can say, explain why it helped you out, and why you were able to defeat some villain or whatever because of it. The first thing someone's going to do on their turn is they're basically going to choose one of those decks to go through. A lot of these cards have little symbols on them, all along there, and something might say, hey, you know what, this particular guy, this bard, is good at relic challenges, so maybe they want to go on through the relic deck because that's one of their specialties. They have a higher base value when going up against those particular kind of challenges. Other characters have bonuses regarding certain ones of those things, certain of those symbols, whether it's a magic thing or a trap encounter, or whatever the case might be. What you're going to do is you're going to take whatever your base value is for that type of challenge, and you're going to roll that dice over there. It's a d20, but however, it's got more than just going on there than just that. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I believe it's also a 9. I'm never lucky enough to roll that, though. And then also there's like a critical hit kind of a thing. That's basically an automatic win. So what you have it is you're going to roll this. You're going to add that value to whatever your base value is. That is your strength. Now, in this case, if we were going for that 11 spot there on that relic deck, we would be obviously not in a good position here. So maybe before we tackled that, we wanted to tackle one of these 5s or these 7s first to kind of build up some of our stats. Also, maybe wait till one of those action or these active surprises card comes out so that way we have some additional help as well. One additional thing that can happen is you can ask for help from one of the other players at the board. They can spend their token. They can only spend it once per turn, per go around. But they can add, based off of whatever value, add some extra strength to the mix as well. So that can be really helpful. As you can kind of see here across there, there's a little bit of storytelling elements already integrated in. This one says, you must dodge the dragon's basic claw swipe while getting past endless frogs, well in line at the ticket counter. And then all across the bottom here, there's all these additional text as well. And maybe get some extra bonus points for doing a particularly good little bit of storytelling, a little bit of inspiration uplift, I guess you might say, because it says, there's ones that maybe say, it's like, because you did some good storytelling, you get a +1 strength, or whatever the case is. This game really is all about that storytelling. You want to, again, as the person who's the team leader, you want to try to make it as approachable as possible, trying to get as much storytelling involved as possible, make it more fun. Once they read that off there, ask them some questions. Okay, so how did you get past the endless frogs? What happened while you were at the ticket counter? All those kinds of things. If you succeed past the challenge, you're going to take the card. You are going to get that bottom left value. That's how many treasures you earned, how much loot you've earned because you completed it. If, however, you failed, here on the bottom right, that tells how much damage you take. As a team, this is a cooperative game, remember, you have one pool of damage. So if you lose 3 damage, you'd go 1, 2, 3. Something like that. If you ever end your turn with having 3 or more of those loots, what you can do is you can trade in 3 of them to draw one of these fantasy Costco cards, and it's going to be some kind of benefit. This one says, your base power is 4 regardless of the traits of the challenge, so that can be really, really helpful as well. And of course there's some flavor text in here. It grants a true champion protection in the face of any challenge, plus keeps your pants up, just like any good belt should. The way you win the game is, you have to collect the relic, meaning you have to get all the way down to the bottom of that relic deck and complete that final challenge before you are able to collect it, and then complete either the location or the villain card. So basically 2 out of these 3 piles have to be all the way gone before you win the game. Now in this particular case, the train's win scenario is don't get to the bottom of this. So basically you have to go through the dragon and the idol in this case. But every single one's going to have its own stack, own variable ways to get through it. Lots and lots of different storytellings and different headers that you're going to read off every time. And lots of storytelling to be had.
So this had a very quirky and silly theme, and I thought that was fun. It's this, RPG theme, like Ryan was saying in the beginning, the tropes, but it also has like this sci-fi flair to it, right? So I thought that was really fun and quirky. And from working at a library, we actually shelved the sci-fi and fantasy together. They're not 2 different sections. So this is like putting that together.
A whole, Dewey Decimal block.
Yeah, I mean, they're different. They're definitely different, but you just squish them together.
All right, so you guys, I like the storytelling aspect of this. The fact that there was no DM in this made it so that all players could play. And also, if you ever got stuck, there was like a little bit of little kind of hints along the way saying, hey, embellish on this a little bit. Here's, what was the name of the bad guy you're fighting? What does it look like? All that kind of thing. I thought that the cards prompt really helped it along because I'm not much of a storyteller. Without that, I would have floundered completely.
Our 8-year-old, when we played with her, had so much fun creating her character because it gives you those prompts like what your name is, what you're good at your thing because why, and she just really loved that. She got really obsessed with hats in one of her characters.
Right.
Yeah, it was just really funny.
What is different about your character? It has a hat. Oh, okay. How do you help your friends?
My magic hat.
It's magic hat.
Yeah, and then she was drawing like this huge hat because you can draw your character. Like, she just had so much fun with getting the character ready to go out like on this adventure, and she just it was sweet. She really liked it. She really liked it.
I like the items that you get from the store, right? There's a variety of items, and they were all silly and fun, and a lot of them were powerful. And frankly, you needed those items. Yeah. Once you got farther down the deck, it got harder and harder to do it with just your base value stats, even with someone assisting you. It got harder and harder, so you really needed those big items to help you get you through the way. And they were silly and fun too, and I loved kind of adding on, I will attack with my whatever, a silly name of a weapon, and it just kind of helped add to that a little bit.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, I just didn't like this game. I mean, our daughter had a great time, and that was fun, but it just wasn't a game for me. I felt like I wanted me to do a lot that I didn't want to do, right? It was asking a lot of me. But with that said, I feel like that there is definitely people out there who would love this game because it has that, because it is like this little in a box RPG, and I feel like there's going to be people, I know the people who would really enjoy playing that, embellishing, and letting the game just like take you places, and you're just there for the ride. And I know people who would really enjoy that. It's just I wasn't one of them.
I agree to a certain extent. I felt like the pressure was on the players to make the story happen. I like storytelling games, but I like it where the game tells me the story, and then I react to it. This was like, hey, here's a little bit of a plot device. You tell me all about that plot device. And when you are coming home from work, or you're tired, or your mind is not able to be as witty as you want to be, as creative as you want to be, to make the story fulfilling and fun. Because the game mechanics themselves are pretty simple. There's not a lot there. The bulk of this game is in the storytelling. So if you're not in the storytelling mood,
you're just rolling a die.
Yeah. So with storytelling is where this game's at. If you are someone who likes that storytelling, this game, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah. Especially
if you are someone who likes the idea of RPG games but can't commit to every single week session, but you still want to have the storytelling elements. This right here is your solution. Yes. You have an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You're playing one character. You can choose whatever that character is every time. If you don't like him, next time use a different one. You make a whole new character with a whole new fun backstory. You get a chance to embellish all of your own. Unlimited creative storytelling opportunities in this game. If that's your jam, if you like that open-ended storytelling, I think you're going to like Adventure Zone.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us on Facebook, we're Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews. On Twitter, we're Ryan and Bethany 1. And on Instagram, we are Ryan and Bethany.
All right, guys, if you've seen my glasses anywhere, put it in the comments below where you see my glasses so I can see again. This is getting crazy.
Do you see him going like this?
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.